Hi guys, I was requested to do another video, a crime video on, well, it's not that it's unsolved, but it's in the process, I guess, of more information coming out. But it has, let me get this phone to do right. It is a case someone requested, like I said, regarding this person, and his name is Kimbrady Carriker. And let me show you the day and the time. I looked up, let me see. Alright, so it's, there we go. January 28th, Sunday. Okay. I think his crimes happened in July. But anyway, so that's what we're doing it on. Let me see here, so you know. Where is he? Okay, so Philadelphia shooter fired through first victim's door claiming to be law enforcement. And then he went on, that was July 2nd. Then on July 3rd, and this is in, this was a couple years ago, so let me see what date it was. Oh, well, this was last year, 2023. Okay. And then he went to, after he went into this lady's house claiming to be police and shot her. I think she was in the same neighborhood. And he had a R-15 style rifle. And he killed 4 more. And he wounded 4 in this southwest Philadelphia neighborhood. And the neighborhood was called, let's see, Kings, oh, I wrote it down. Let me see here, because I took notes. Kings Essenes neighborhood, Kings Essenes. Now they said it was a random, random killing, random neighborhood. And supposedly he was acting, well, here, let me look at my notes. This Kimbrady Carriker was 40 years old. He went into this neighborhood. He was wearing a bulletproof vest, a ski mask. They thought it was random. He had a ghost gun. That's where I think they can build them themselves, so they buy them off the internet, and it doesn't have a serial number. He left a will, so they feel it was premeditated, which it was. He had said that he was the town watchman. And, okay. They checked his website, I don't know, Facebook or whatever he had, and he quoted some religious texts, I guess. Yeah, he went to the first victim's house, went in, said he was law enforcement, and then kept shooting. And then sometime later, I wasn't quite sure, that was on the 2nd, so I don't know if that was late evening, and then early on the 3rd, I'm not quite sure the time frame, because I read something that said 44 hours, but that's not, it's 24 hours from the 2nd to the 3rd, so I don't know what the time frame was. And then on August 29th, they found him unfit for trial. But like I said, he had told someone, I guess in the neighborhood or somewhere, that he was the town watchman. That's going to be key. And they talked to his family And, you know, I'm getting all these crimes confused. So I don't know if his roommates were saying he was acting strange prior. That could be another crime. Because there's so friggin' many. This is ridiculous. That he was acting strange prior. A little bit strange. Yeah, it was. I think it was his roommate, because he was wearing a bulletproof vest around the house. And he had guns in the house, so he's known to have guns. And they just thought he was getting, I think I wrote it down. Is this the one? He was getting more agitated. Let me see. Yeah, okay, this was the one. With the roommates feeling like that he was getting more agitated, so they kind of just stayed away from him, like right before the killings. And the grandma said she never saw nothing like this from him. And the family, I guess, denied any kind of mental illness or anything. My first intuitive hit, not to blame the family. It's not the family's fault. But there still is a stigma about mental illness. So, you know, there could have been guilt. You know, maybe they thought he had a mental illness and never pursued help for him. And that's why they're saying, no, there was nothing. You know, I never saw anything. You know, he was fine. But there could be guilt, so there's a denial there. However, giving the family, and not to blame them, because it is a stigma, and it's a shock, I'm sure, that their son did this. Now, mental illness could have come out and they didn't know about it. Stop. And I will talk about that later. So that could be the other thing. But we really need to get on this mental illness thing in this country. Starting in the schools. I've talked about that before. Being a former teacher and a former probation officer. I've been on both sides. The schools and the court system. We need to start in the schools. Okay, so but that's a whole nother thing for a whole nother day. Let me just tell you what my intuitive hits were. Because he said he was a town watchman, because he quoted Isaiah, something to the effect, I alone am the Lord and the only one who can save you. Because he quoted scriptures, I guess, and he was a gun advocate and everything. Those two things, he might have been a gun advocate to begin with, you know, don't take our weapons away kind of person. And then the religious thing could have been something else. So I don't really connect those two to each other. Him having guns and him quoting from the Bible. I don't connect those two. However, I believe that he felt, now, let me just say this too. He was found unfit for trial. The person that requested this video said that they didn't say, like, why he was found unfit. I saw that he was found unfit for the trial, but when I first saw him, because looking at someone is, I get it hits, I did think there was a mental illness there. And what I looked up schizophrenia. But what I was led to was schizophreniform. Okay, and that is, let me see if I can find it in here. You know, whenever they're supposed to keep all the tabs open. Like, where are they? Okay. schizophone disorder. Okay. So this is not, it's not schizophrenic. The difference is that this well, this is what it's called. Schizophreniform, whatever, is a mental condition that causes symptoms of psychosis like hallucinations, delusions, and disorganized speech. It can last fewer than 6 months. Treatment includes medication and talk therapy. They don't know what causes it, but let me see. The thing is that it lasts for less than 6 months. So he started acting strange, his roommate says. So I don't know when he started acting strange, but this is a disorder that can last from no more than 6 months. There's a 6-month period of it having. Now this man was 40 years old. And, you know, with illnesses, especially mental illnesses, you know, like, let's say, like, type 1 diabetes is usually found in juveniles. Well, I'm living proof. I'm a adult type 1 onset of diabetic. I'm a type 1 as an adult. So I'm saying that to say that this schizophreniform happens mostly men between 18 and 24. Who are main mass murderers? Men 18 to 24. Okay, so this is something that needs to be looked at, this disorder, because it is a short disorder. Now, if it doesn't go away, then it will lead into the schizophrenia. They got to check their history, or, you know, anyone in the family has had it. They got to see that, because then it could just be a leading into a whole schizophrenic thing. Now, if they have this schizoform, they are likely to have another episode in the next 5 to 7 years. And this is what I was saying about the denial with the family, and I'm not bashing them at all, trust me. I mean, I understand it's a stigma. He may have had this and they didn't even know about it. You know, maybe it didn't act out in a violent manner like it did now. So, but that would only be 39. That would still not be at this young age. But anyway, I don't know how many of these episodes you can have. But this schizoform, the symptoms are delusion, false beliefs that you're not going to give up, even when the facts say something different. Hallucinations, you hear things. A disorganized speech, you don't make sense. Odd or strange behavior, walking in circles, pacing. And when they were saying that he was acting odd with the bulletproof vest in the home with the roommates, I was picturing him pacing with it. Poor hygiene, poor grooming, lack of interest. That's just normal things for when you are depressed, which probably is added to any kind of mental illness, I would think. So they don't know what causes it, but it could be genetics, a tendency to develop schizophrenia, may pass from parents to children, could be a brain disorder. It could also be a very stressful event that triggered this. Okay? So they need to see, was there anything very stressful prior to this episode of him acting strange, and it would be within the last 6 months, the stressful event. Now, this schizoform presents a risk. They could present a risk to themselves or to others. Okay, so that's something that possibly could have been going on with him, because I do think there was some kind of mental illness, and this is a brief period of time for this mental illness. It can be maintained with medication and talk therapy. Back to the religious part, because it can cause delusional thinking. I believe he thought he was the Messiah. He was the Savior, the Son of Man, the one that he was God, basically, in his mind. And as God, as the Messiah, in his mind, he felt that he was the town watchman, and he was going, and with the lady, he went to her house. He was law enforcement. He was justice. He did the will because he had a high ego, thinking that he was the creator of all. He left a will, again, because of the ego. He surrendered. I saw one guy that did a video on it, and it was like, why didn't you just, go out in a blaze of glory? Well, Jesus didn't go out in a blaze of glory. Jesus knew he was going to die on the cross, and he surrendered. He allowed it to happen. So this person did not want to die. He wanted to surrender to his fate because he was the Almighty. So this is what I think. I think he felt kind of like a what's that movie? What's that movie where they have the 24 hours to go around and kill all the bad people? I can't think what it's called. Oh, The Purge. So he felt that he was called to purge people that he felt were not moral. And now this was a delusion, because whoever he shot was all innocent victims. But in his mind, he was, like I said, the Messiah. So he was going out to serve justice. Also, again, he presented himself as law enforcement, as justice to that one house. He also was rebelling, doing all this, and this could go back to the trauma that he had within the 6 months. Somehow he lost his freedom. So for whatever, I don't know if he had a disability or got hurt on the job or something, made him lose his freedom, which triggered this Messiah, or what you call it, God complex or whatever. And he was rebelling to be free, and he was going to dish out karma to everybody. They said the neighborhood was random, but it was called King's Essing neighborhood. King, the king, above, the king, almighty. Okay? So I'm not quite sure that neighborhood was random. So that's what I took from my looking at his picture and looking at the case. So let's just see. Because the person that asked me to do this, they want to know why. Like, why was this done? Oh god, now we got another sitting dragon. What is the sitting dragon again? I need to put a sticky note up there so I can remember. Sitting dragon, sitting dragon. Okay, Knight. Knight of Cups. And again, I don't always read what the card means. Knight of Cups. What I'm seeing is big ego here. You would think that would be with the Emperor. But there's a big cup here. And he has a big stance. And I just feel, like I said before, big ego. He is going to take care of all this badness in the world. And he is just going, he's delusional and thought he's just going to get people. Just random people. Like, they were random. The town wasn't random. The neighborhood wasn't random, but the people were random. Okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah. This is the Lovers. Yeah, and one of the things is prostitution, you know, and prostitution, let's say, is looked at as negative. There he... Let me look at this picture. People. Oh my God, people. I can't make this shit up. Okay. You see him in the background? He is watching this filth. What he sees as the Messiah, as filth. Having sex for lust and not for love. But do you see that face underneath? Oh my God, people. I'm giving myself chills. Look at that. Does that not look like him? Can you see? Oh, jeez, okay. With the mustache and everything? And the bags under the eyes? Yep. Okay. Make sure they're in the camera. Alright, yeah. Alright, and so then we have, the Hermit. Okay, sorry, my battery went dead, which I really have to, I need to charge this one because I'm going to do a couple other videos today, hopefully. Crime videos. Alright, so this is the Hermit, yeah. Yeah, let me just see something. House of Judah. King David, King Solomon, and Jesus. Okay, symbol. I was looking to see what the lion is in the Bible. House of Judah and descendants of the House of Judah, which includes Judah, King David, King Solomon, and Jesus. Yes, he thinks he's Jesus. Alright. And I normally do see deers as God. But, so this is him. This is him as the Messiah going forth to bring justice to the world. He is feeling he's brave, he's a warrior. He is going to reveal truths. I'm thinking rapture, like bringing justice, bringing, I don't want to say restitution. He's going to bring punishment. There's another word, I can't think of what it is. But he's bringing it down. He's bringing justice in his mind. What he feels he needs to be done to clean up that neighborhood. 8 of Wands. Oh yeah. Yes, he had hallucinations. Telling him to do this. Yep, his mind was swirling with delusions, with hallucinations, auditory hallucinations, feeling that God told him to go do this. He felt he received channeled messages from God, from the divine, to do God's work. He felt he's doing God's work. All right. Any more? Okay, 7 of Wands. All right. My intuitive hit is this flower here he's holding. He wanted to have everything pure. And this book here, the cover looks like it's scratched off. I feel like that's the Bible. That in his mind, people are not living with virtue. And he just wants to reset society. And I'm going to look in here again. 7 of Wands. Just want to see if I pick up anything else. Yeah, he feels he has a vantage position. Again, with that big ego. Yeah, it says his enemies are unable to reach him. Yeah, there's no enemies in this card, but he does feel above everybody else. And he feels like he's just purifying society. Like it's, the Purge. Okay, I think that's all we're going to take from this deck. Okay. These aside. I'm going to take this 10, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, he definitely had delusions. Okay. So I see this as he felt he was a star seed, if he knew that word. I don't know what that flower is. But he felt he was divine, for sure. And he felt that he was going to be rewarded for this act. That he was going to be a star. Don't start. Yeah. You know, it's hard when I just do a crime video and another card comes up, because I think about the other crime. 8 of Cups. I'm going to clarify that. The Hierophant, yep. his belief in religion played a role in this. Yep. And he's right under the magician. Magician is a very religious card. Okay, so these all came out in reverse. Oh yeah, so we have the devil. Yeah, he saw society as the devil, so he was going to fix it. Yeah, and that's what, under the Eight of Wands, that's what he felt he was called to do. Yeah, him here with the big ego, he thought he could make the world better. The Watchman, yeah, he was going to purge stuff. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Let me see what that is. And then, who is this? This is the Unicorn. This is the Unicorn. Oh, this is the Page. Page of Swords. Reversed. Okay. Let me see. I'm not sure what those mean. Reversed. Ace of Pentacles. Let me get on my reading glasses. Ace of Pentacles reversed. Oh, the evil side. Bad intelligence. Really? The evil side of intelligence. I did not know that. Okay. Alright. Yeah, his mind was evil. And this, the Page of Swords reversed. Oh, more evil. What is unseen? Sickness. Overseen. Yep. Okay, so he was the town watchman and he was mentally ill. For sure. But what is, what else? Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups. I am not too big for my britches to look in here, but this actually I'm called to. Because there's, you know, it's called bibliography. Like cartomancy, bibliography, you get intuitive hits from things you read. Was this in no, I don't think it was in reverse. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to clarify. I don't know why this was him targeting that lady that he actually went into the house. Did he know her? I don't know. Let me see if we could clarify with this. Did he know the lady that he said he was law enforcement? Yeah, and see, this guy is all dressed up, you know, in a uniform. Well, and then maybe he had the bulletproof vest on and it looked like something was going down and she opened the door and let him in. Did he know the lady went into her house? Five of Wands. He may have previously had an argument with her somewhere. Maybe he saw where she lived. Anything else? So maybe he did cross her path. I don't know. It didn't say anything about if he knew her. Four of Cups. Maybe she turned him down somewhere. And somehow he figured out where she lived. So he went there first. We'll see. We'll see about that, you know. That's just what the cards are saying. Alright, anything else you could tell me about this? This was what I intuitively hit on. Anything else you could tell us about this? Let's see, what's his name? Kimbrady Carriker. Sounds like a made-up name. It's like so many names in one. What else can you tell us? Three of Swords. He was heartbroken. There was some... maybe that was the trauma. Knight of Cups. No. Yeah, Knight of Cups. Where's our Knight? Sitting Dragon. Was that the Knight? Yeah. Knight of Cups. Yep. It might have been... He was heartbroken. That's what started this whole thing. Ace of Pentacles. We had that over here. Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, he couldn't have a new beginning. So it turned him evil. Maybe with the girl. And Two of Wands. Two of Wands. This was... Two of Wands is a crossroad, but this was the click. The click that turned this schizophone on. This was the turning point. Yeah. That he started having these delusions of grandeur, of him being the Messiah. Anything else? Okay, we'll take these just to see. And then we'll call it a day. Okay, Nine of Swords, yes. He was very traumatized and anxiety, mentally ill. This is also in reverse. You know, the number's upside down. So severe mental anguish. Oh gosh. Two jokers. Two jokers. A yes and a no. And they're both upside down. So yeah, this is the Nine of Swords. Nine of Spades. And two jokers. Upside down. Yes or no. That is the Fool. He had two personalities. Two personalities. And the Six of Wands and the Eight of Wands. Six of Wands. Eight of Wands. We had the Eight of Wands already. Where's our Eight of Wands? Eight of Wands right here. Yeah. Yeah, he had delusional messages because this Eight of Wands is upside down. The 8 is upside down. Six of Wands is upside down. Six of Wands. Six of Wands. see what, oops, I'm gonna burn myself. Let me see what that is in reverse. 6 of Wands. Fear, apprehension. Victorious enemy at the gate. Gates being open to the enemy. Really? See, I didn't know that, but that's what I'm called to read these things. Oh yeah, this is a victory card, but reverse, it's a victorious enemy. Victorious enemy. Yeah, it's the devil. It's the devil. He turned into the devil. Yeah, with the 6 of Wands and the 7 of Wands. Let me just see here. A lot of wands, so that's a lot of action, and a lot of major arcanas, which is a lot of something major happening. Obviously, this is major. And a lot of cups. So it had to do with emotions, emotional issue, possibly in love, rejection. I don't know, maybe he got divorced or something, but that was the trigger. Deep behind the pro-gun, schizoform, Messiah delusion, old thinking, way back underneath all that was an emotional hurt, which is really what everything is about. It all comes down to love and feeling unloved and hurt, emotional hurt. That's the seed at the very bottom of all these issues that manifest as evil. So, yeah, I hope that helped. Thank you for requesting this video. If you have a case that's kind of not really solved yet, not that I'm solving cases, but I can just give you my intuitive hit. I do pick up on things. I'm not 100% accurate. I'm not saying I'm psychic. You know, I'm just an average Joe, just reading the cards. And I do pick up on things, so if I can help, let me know. Bye-bye. Take care. Be safe out there.